Today I will be talking about food nutrition labels, why we have them, and how to read and understand them. This presentation will help you to learn how to make informed food choices using the nutrition information on food labels. First, I would like to give a brief background on food labels. The Food and Drug Administration and the Food Safety and Inspection Service within the U.S. Department of Agriculture develop and provide labeling guidance, policies, and inspection methods. The Food and Drug Administration is responsible for assuring that foods sold in the United States are safe, wholesome, and properly labeled. The Food Safety and Inspection Service is the public health agency in the U.S. Department of Agriculture responsible for ensuring that the nation's commercial supply of meat, poultry, and egg products is safe, wholesome, and correctly labeled and packaged. In the year 1990, the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act went into effect. This provides the FDA with specific authority to require nutrition labeling of most foods regulated by the agency. It also requires that all nutrient content claims, such as high fiber or low fat, and other health claims be consistent with agency regulations. What exactly is on a food label, and how do we make sense of it? According to the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act, all food labels must contain the following information: the common name of the product, the name and address of the product's manufacturer, and the net contents in terms of weight, measure, or count. They must have an ingredients list, which lists the ingredients in descending order of predominance and weight. Each package must also identify the serving size, because the nutritional information given on the label is based on one serving of food. Finally, they must contain nutrition facts. Each package must identify the quantities of specific nutrients and food ingredients for one serving. Remember, 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories, 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrates is equal to 4 calories, and 1 gram of alcohol is equal to 7 calories. Now we are going to learn how to read food labels. People look at food labels for different reasons, but whatever the reason, many would like to know how to use this information more effectively and easily. The following slides are intended to make it easier for you to use nutrition labels to make quick, informed food choices that contribute to a healthy diet. The first place to start when you look at the nutrition facts label is the serving size and the number of servings in the package. Serving sizes are standardized to make it easier to compare similar foods. They are provided in familiar units, such as cups or pieces, and are followed by the metric amount, for example, the number of grams. The size of the serving on the food package influences the number of calories and all the nutrient amounts listed on the top part of the label. Pay attention to the serving size, especially how many servings there are in the food package. Then ask yourself, how many servings am I consuming? Am I consuming a half a serving, 1 serving, or more than 1 serving? The next step is to look at the number of calories. Calories provide a measure of how much energy you get from a serving of this food. Many Americans consume more calories than they need without meeting recommended intakes for a number of other nutrients. The calorie section of the label can help you manage your weight, whether you want to gain, lose, or maintain a healthy weight. Remember, the number of servings you consume determines the number of calories you actually eat. A general guide to follow is 40 calories is low, 100 calories is moderate, and 400 calories or more is high. It is important to understand the amount of calories you consume, because eating too many calories per day is linked to overweight and obesity. Next, you want to look at the nutrient section. This shows you some key nutrients that impact on your health and separates them into 2 main groups. First is limit these nutrients. The nutrients listed first are the ones Americans generally eat in adequate amounts, or even too much. Eating too much fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, or sodium may increase your risk of certain chronic diseases like heart disease, some cancers, or high blood pressure. Health experts recommend that you keep your intake of saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol as low as possible as part of a nutritionally balanced diet. The second group of nutrients is get enough of these. Most Americans don't get enough dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron in their diets. Eating enough of these nutrients can improve your health and help reduce the risk of some diseases and conditions. For example, getting enough calcium may reduce the risk of osteoporosis, a condition that results in brittle bones as one ages. Eating a diet high in dietary fiber promotes healthy bowel function. Additionally, a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and grain products that contain dietary fiber, particularly soluble fiber, and low in saturated fat and cholesterol may reduce the risk of heart disease. You can use the nutrition facts label not only to help limit those nutrients you want to cut back on, but also to increase those nutrients you need to consume in greater amounts. Step 5 of reading food labels is understanding the footnote at the bottom of the nutrition facts label. Note the asterisk used after the heading % daily value on the nutrition facts label. It refers to the footnote in the lower part of the nutrition label, which tells you % daily values are based on a 2,000 calorie diet. This statement must be on all food labels, but the remaining information in the full footnote may not be on the package if the size of the label is too small. When the full footnote does appear, it will always be the same. It doesn't change from product to product because it shows recommended dietary advice for all Americans, and it is not about a specific food product. The final step in reading food labels is looking at the % daily values. These are based on the daily value recommendations for key nutrients, but only for a 2,000 calorie daily diet. You may not know how many calories you consume in a day, but you can still use the % daily value as a frame of reference whether or not you consume more or less than 2,000 calories. The % daily value helps you determine if a serving of food is high or low in a nutrient. A few nutrients, like trans fat, do not have a % daily value. They will be discussed later. You do not need to know how to calculate percentages to use the % daily value. The label does the math for you. It helps you interpret the numbers by putting them all on the same scale for the day. The % daily value column doesn't add up vertically to 100%. Instead, each nutrient is based on 100% of the daily requirements for that nutrient for a 2,000 calorie diet. This way, you can tell high from low and know which nutrients contribute a lot or a little to your daily recommended allowance. A quick guide to % daily values is that 5% daily value or less is low, and 20% daily value or more is high. Remember again that health experts recommend that you keep your intake of saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol as low as possible as part of a nutritionally balanced diet. How do the daily values relate to the % daily values? The example here is a way to see how the daily values relate to the % daily values and dietary guidance. For each nutrient listed, there is a daily value, a % daily value, and dietary advice or a goal. If you follow this dietary advice, you will stay within public health experts' recommended upper or lower limits for the nutrients listed based on a 2,000 calorie daily diet. The nutrients that have upper daily limits are listed first on the footnote of larger labels and on the example here. Upper limit means it is recommended that you stay below or eat less than the daily value nutrient amounts listed per day. For example, the daily value for saturated fat is 20 grams. This amount is 100% daily value for this nutrient. What is the goal or dietary advice? To eat less than 20 grams or 100% daily value for the day. Now look at the section where dietary fiber is listed. The daily value for dietary fiber is 25 grams, which is 100% daily value. This means it is recommended that you eat at least this amount of dietary fiber per day. The daily value for total carbohydrates is 300 grams or 100% daily value. This amount is recommended for a balanced daily diet that is based on 2,000 calories but can vary depending on your daily intake of fat and protein. So remember, your body needs the right combination of nutrients such as vitamins to work properly and grow. Food labels are there to provide us with basic information about what is in the food we eat and how best to handle it. The Nutrition Facts food label gives you information about which nutrients are in the food, and food labels provide information to help make healthier and safer food choices. This concludes this presentation on understanding food nutrition labels. I hope you learned a little more about understanding food labels in order to make more informed food choices. Thank you for listening.